What's up, YouTube? We got a repeat release 77 Firebird TA Special Edition. It's the Bandit car. Finally got it to go along with the Arkansas State Trooper I got late last year. So now I have the 77 TA. And I don't think they make an 18 Bandit 79 car. They might. I know there's one like it, but I don't think there's a Bandit 118 yet. I know they got a 124th, but this is the 118 scale. It is an artisan car. It is not like their Z28 Camaros that they've been doing, F-body car, third gen. So it's a third gen Firebird, and she looks good. Good looking car. You know what? I'd say, or actually, second gen. Sorry, the second gen Firebird. This car is a good looking car. It does have a simplistic build. It's not $100 though either. The good thing about this is the coloring is good. Decals are pretty good. The tampo process is good. It's not exactly the way Pontiac did it, but it's very close. And again, this is a great looking car. I like it. Wheels are a little large on the side, and I don't know if the car's a little thin. Maybe that. If you look at the profile, it might be a little small. I don't know, but we'll take a look at it in case you are thinking about getting this car. It is licensed, so that's another reason that I like it. And it's a Greenlight, so I collect Greenlight, and it was worth it. I got this car at a good price, so very happy with it. It does have some nice features. It's not a completely basic closed body car, and we'll take a look. So do a profile. Car presents good. This is a shiny paint. Their 118 scale paint is usually shiny, so I'm very happy about that. And car sits good. What I did was axles were too long on this car. This is a metal axle car, non-steering. I shortened them so they'd fit correctly. They were sticking out way too far when I took it out of the package, so I cleaned that up. But other than that, the car didn't need a lot of correction or paint work or any of that stuff. And came nice and good condition. They did the 77 front end very nicely. It's got a nice crisp feel to it with the grill. Hood does not open, but it's got the Pontiac down below. It's got a separate lens detail. It's got the fog lights or signal bulbs on the bottom lenses. Let's see if we can get this a little lower. So car looks nice. A little thick on the pinstripe. Might not have been that gauge. And other people that looked at this car earlier and did reviews, Trans Am's supposed to be on the bumper part above the headlight, but that's alright. I like the way the bird looks. It's a good looking car. You can see the shine and the paint's very good. Didn't really have to polish this car or any of that stuff or wax it. Sometimes when you get cars, you never know. Come out of the packet, some are a little dull. You gotta clean them up. So it's closed T-top, which if you wanted to, you could open it. In 1977, Pontiac made this more of a widespread option because in '76 it was offered, I think. But it was later in the year, and they only were able to get like less than 5,000 or something of them with T-tops. But in '77, it's full option, they brought it down to all the lines. I think it was only on the TA on '76. So '77, you get this T-top if you wanted to on most of the Firebird trims. And it's made by Hearst Industries, which was kind of interesting. Early T-tops, they were awful. They were all over the place, but they got it down pretty well where they look kind of good. So what's cool about this that you don't see a lot on Greenlight cars. You see it on some of them, so not others. This is the flocking carpet, so it's got a a flock carpet, meaning that it's got some material that simulates carpet. It's like a fabric. So that's kind of cool. Goes up to the transmission tunnel. Problem is they flocked the console and the armrest. So that would have been plastic, hard plastic, and vinyl, whatever. It would not have been carpeted. This car represents Turbo 350. TA car is a Trans Am special edition. In 76, they had this paint scheme, but it was more like a 50th anniversary, and they called those LE cars. Those are a limited edition, LE. In 77, went to an SE. To not confuse it with the 50 years of Pontiac that they did in 76. So this is an SE because it's a 77. You read up on these cars, interesting. They did this car. This is the model's a 77, but the movie was, I guess, done in 76, and so was the brochure that interested Hal Needham, which was the director for Smokey and Bandit, and Burt Reynolds' friend, and Burt Reynolds, to want a Pontiac instead of like a Vet or some other muscle car. And so they did contact Pontiac and all that, but the car they were looking at, the brochure, was a 77 front nose on a 76 car. So that was kind of interesting. That was a Pontiac. Pontiac didn't have this car produced yet, or the car that was in production or test vehicle in 76 wasn't available. So they had to piece one together. So they got the nose from Pontiac in Michigan. They sent it down to him at the press club or whatever to make the brochure. Whoever was photographing this vehicle, they put the car together. So I thought that was interesting. And that car has been found. In the 2000s, they found the original car that was on the brochure, which was turned back into a 1976 model and sold to a dealership that was to, sell to a customer. But so I thought that was interesting. And supposedly, I guess the four cars that Pontiac, because, Smokey and Bandit was an unknown entity in 76, 77. So Pontiac, they wanted more cars. Like Pontiac gave them 4 Trans Am cars and 2 Pontiac Police. So they used those. That's why Sheriff used the Pontiac instead of something more mainstream. He used the Pontiac Le Mans Enforcer car. And that's why they had those 2 Pontiacs. So they gave him 2 Pontiac Police cars, and they gave him 4 Trans Ams, and then they made the movie with those vehicles. So they really beat the hell out of them. But supposedly they were 76 miles with the 77 front end. And those cars, that was the last year for the 455 big block, because I went to a 400 and a 403 in California. So I think the cars they were using had 455s, and of course they were probably tuned up and all that. And maybe some of them were 350 turbo automatics, and some were 4-speed T10s. But I don't know. This car is just an interesting history. Very, very interesting. Also, 77 first year for the snowflakes. They got rid of the honeycomb wheel alloy. Was available in 76. So that was probably another thing they had to change if they were based on the 76 cars. So a special edition had this gold over Starlight Black, and they had this Gothic Trans Am, which if you read the history on this kind of package on this car, I guess it goes back to 70, trying to try this stuff out. They didn't like it. And then at 73, they were finally able to make this car kind of like this Hoodbird, kind of more standardized in the Asha package, and it went from there because they were testing the car out and everybody loved it. So good looking car, limited edition vehicle. This was on the second run that Greenlight did. You can see the steering wheel is a little big, and it's a little plain in there, but it's all right. It's not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. I just liked it because it is Trans Am, and again, I don't mind the metal axle. We'll take a look at the chassis. This one's 4300 70. They're probably gonna make tons of these, which is fine. There's your chassis. It's got the quad exhaust. So you got the 2 exhausts. Back then they had to run a single catalyst and then do the duals from there. Didn't have enough technology and enough money on these cars run 2 cats, so they had to use a single. So there you go. Cool car. Very, very cool car. Highly recommend it. You know, if you are a collector of Bandit stuff, round two went back when it was Ertl and all that. They had a Bandit car. That car really climbed up in value. You know, if you find one of those cars that were licensed through Ertl, oh, back then I guess it was RC2 or whatever, but no, those cars are a lot of money now. So definitely a lot cheaper to go this route if you don't want to spend the money on one of those cars that are out of production. Here's the box, artisan box. Has got the cardboard box, and then you got your foam inner core clamshell. Holds the car good. So definitely save your box. It's good. It's a very good licensing that Greenlight has. So Smokey the Bandit stuff's great. It's always good to have it. They're doing the Pontiacs and all that stuff. Hopefully more cars are coming out. Hopefully they make a Enforcer in 1/18 scale, at least 1/24 scale. Be nice to have a Pontiac Le Mans Enforcer car too. But here's some information there. All the beauties, and then there's some of the information there too. So there we go. Pontiac TA. Look at that bad boy. You'll see a little parting shot here. Arkansas boy. They tried. I don't even think they got that close to him in the movie. They usually ran these guys off in the ditch somewhere, especially early on. Yeah, it's always good to see that going. But there it is. Smokey the Bandit Trans Am. Very famous car. Always good to have these cars on the shelf together. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Till next time.